Hello, everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the Freakbob's Fenthouse v Maintenance Is A Birch final tournament game here. We are on to Gold Rush. Freakbob's Fenthouse took round 1, which means that it was on to Maintenance Is A Birch to pick the second map, and we are on Gold Rush as the second one here. Teams have swapped. Taking a look at the teams here. Team 1, A&S, we have Maintenance Is Birch, Potato Master, Star, Secret Mink, and Pyro. Team 2 is, Maintenance is a... No. Team 2 is Freakbob's Fenthouse. Jeez, I've been going for a while today. We have Spy Eye, Cosmic Eradicator, and Cosmic Eradicator. Taking a look at deployments right now, I am seeing some... Oh god, it's all Ruddles, ain't it? Yep. Looks like Freakbob's Fenthouse is electing to bring more line plus a shit ton of Ruddles. Various ships around the map. I'm seeing a Monitor, a Liner... likely part of the Cap fleet, I would assume. On the opposite side, Maintenance Is A Birch. We've got triple CL going E. We've got an Axford plus... Ooh, Axford plus a CL pair. This is Pyrope's Pocket BB plus the Sarissa device. Seeing some beamstones spread along the map here. I'm also seeing a Rain's going low. We did see on Gold Rush a couple of tournament rounds ago that Maintenance Is Birch did take the Rains underneath the map towards Dagger. We'll see if that is the same thing they're going to try this time. Pretty normal-ish team comp for Maintenance Is Birch. Battleship up high. Very, very unconventional comp from OSP here, Freakbob's Fenthouse. We will see how that works for them. I really hope that that's not a mine CLN or I'm going to be losing it. Alright. 30 seconds left on the deployment timer. One of the Cosmics is... Yep, there goes the ready up. I get a zoom in of a more line. Run by one of the Cosmics here. Oh no, it's a mine CLN. It's a mine CLN. It has to be a mine CLN considering that it doesn't have the front banks. It's not a full CLN. No, it's a mine CLN. Why would we do anything different other than losing our fucking mines? Anyway, taking a look at Maintenance Is Birch. First with the A&S, we have a 3K battleship here. It is the Impact rated brought by Potato Master. VLS-2 with some active decoys, killjoys, S2H for light, anti-light, and a lot... Fuck ton of SDMs. That's 45 SDM 200s in this thing. Alright, we'll see how good this thing performs. Is that double comms jammer? Double comms jammer on this as well. They are taking no chances. Pyrope up next with the Summer Rose. This is the pocket battleship. This thing has probably more teams than the battles. Nope, the battleship somehow has more. But anyway, VLS-2 in the back. He has some active decoys and some SDM 200s being escorted by the Sarissa device here. This is the all Sarissa CL. Very, very nice. It's going to be really useful if that is a mine CLN. Secret Mink up next with the Cap fleet here. I am seeing 1, 2, 3 beamstones. A gun. Yep, the gun range going low. We're going to loop around underneath to Dagger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 gun cappers. Star up last with their typical TF Birch fleet here. Triple CL, comms jammer, SDM 200s, and some chaff. Very, very excellent fleet going to the east side there. Initial deployments here. Both teams step onto their naturals. OSP gets on there slightly before, although not a whole lot faster. Decoy containers are out from... Oh god, this is... It's not a mine CLN. 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 It's a goddamn decoy box spam ship. Oh god. Anyway, first Cosmic Eradicator here. I am seeing Alfarius, and Alfarius. Sorry, not Alfarius. Wait. I'm actually a little bit impressed that these are all not called Alfarius, but these are all Ruddles. Yep, shit ton of Ruddles. We have a Monitor for goalie defending here. Ruddle. Cosmic with the decoy container CLN just salvoing out decoys right now. This is the fucking thumbnail right here. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my... It's still going. It's still throwing out decoys. Bruh. What if we just didn't have fun today? What if that happens? What if we just made the enemy want to, like, not exist anymore? Oh my god. Supporting the decoy device is 2 sort of like MMTs. Oh wait, yeah, so Tethys is in the decoy. Because these are Tethys-built MMTs. This is how Tethys builds them. We also have a couple of gun cappers spread across the map here for capping, I suppose. Next Cosmic. 2 Ruddles plus the liners. Yep, this is fake Cosmic here, which means that the real Cosmic is in this top one here. And then Spy Eye is running more Ruddles. Looks like Ruddle trios around the map. Yes, okay. Oh, some mine layers too. Some half mine, half rockets. All right, we'll see how good those do here. A lot of ships are already tranked on burn through here as OSP just rushes forward with the decoy coverage. Hand of Hermes has stopped programming decoys for now. MMT up top firing its signature salvo size 6. This is definitely a Tethys MMT. Tethys uses the Tails launcher plus the roll-off one for salvo size 6 on the MMTs. It does have its uses. Decoy containers being fired at here by Pyrope. Pyrope in the Axford is unfortunately falling for the decoys. Immediately swaps fire, recognizing that it's not real. Missiles are acquiring the capper on C, although they take the point in time. It does go down, but ANS does take the point before it gets killed. Over on Eclipse, Secret Mink also sends a capper to E. Gets found out by Tethys here. Neither side engaging yet. Tethys probably busy programming more fucking decoys. The Monitor moves up too with a missile sidearm here. Salvos a couple of missiles into the... Looks like these are being fired into the CLs, although covering jamming means that these are going to not really find what they're looking for. The Act does manage to burn through at the last moment and does find this capper here, hitting it on the nose, knocking out the mag. It is now combat incapable, which means that he is going to be secured by OSP here. A point being capped by ANS. They send a gun capper to the point here. Gets hurt pretty badly by Cosmic's liner, although it is on reload now. Will it drift off to the point? No, it looks like it's going to stay on the point. It's going to be a toss-up whether or not this liner reloads in time to get the kill. Guns are almost reloaded. A-cap is almost captured. Will it get the kill? What is left on this thing? What does it need to kill? An aux steering. All it needs to kill is that aux steering. Will it be able to kill it in time? Shells going in now. A-cap is captured. The kill doesn't go off fast enough, just in time as ANS manages to snag the point. Overall state of the board, OSP does take the cap advantage here. Spy Eye rushing forward with the Ruddles, does manage to find a capper here, and 2 of them are flanking over, likely trying to find the common spot that you see beamstones here. Rockets are going to annihilate Secret Mink's little capper here. That is going to confirm the kill, as the other 2 are just going to flank over the top here. They are going to spot out this beamstone. Yep, there goes the spot. Spy Eye... They're going to program missiles. Beamstone's not looking. It is off arc. Beam has already begun to pivot as they are moving back. Spy Eye just rushing forward with the sun drives there. The CLs have swapped fire to the Ruddles, trying to cover the CL right now from the rush. Will Spy Eye get the strike off in time? Not being programmed yet. 250 RPF coming in. Spy is likely going to be waiting for the last moment here to open up. Spy needs to strike sooner rather than later here. There goes the strike. Rockets out on the beamstone here. That is a Raider drive, although at that range it doesn't matter, as that is a beamstone neutralized on the flank there. The Ruddles are going to die for it, but they will get the kill here. Overall state of the board, the Ruddles are doing an excellent job sort of just rushing into the backline here. You can see another cluster of 3 flanks up and finds a capper, as well as probably trying to find the beamstone here. The decoys probably playing havoc on ANS's sensors right now, as they cannot tell what is a real Ruddle and what is a decoy. Rocket strike now out against this capper. No defender, not moving, means it is going to go down here, which leaves this beamstone relatively open. You can see this beamstone's already pulling back, re-aiming its beam. This one will likely survive because it got early warning of the push. We will see, though. It's going to be out of position on C. Does OSP have anything to cap C? Yep. Simultaneously to forcing the beamstone out of position, ANS is going to try a C attempt here. Pyrope is in position with the Greedford to try and deny it, although it is currently busy mopping up the rocket shuttles here. One of them just flanking forward. Not sure where it's going. The other ones are actually falling back, not actually committing onto this, this beam destroyer. Spy Eye perhaps not wanting to waste them for a non-guaranteed kill, recognizing that it's already done their job of forcing the Axford and the beamstone out of position. The Sea Capper does get spotted here. It is now under fire from the Greedfords, question mark? Yep, there goes Pyro, swapping over there. Although at the same time, a Ruddle flanks around the side here. Does this still have rockets? 18 rockets left in this thing. It does flank over the ridge here. Pyrope is going to be forced to protect themselves or deny C. Likely going to try and deny C here. That is the correct play to do. Multiple decoys being sent onto A right now. These are Clipper decoys. It is likely that OSP is trying to force out the Beam Destroyer on A, force it into out in the open. Although, no, it's actually fallen back. It's pulling back into position here, probably thinking that those are actual decoys. Is he going to go off? Tethys is not microing the DC team, but they don't need to. Is this even Tethys? I don't even know. Beamstone gets back into position, but it was pushed out of position long enough for OSP to take the C point there. Very, very excellent play with the Ruddles there, forcing the defending assets out of the position, out of defensive position. Allows them to just take the point. The battleship continuing to fruitlessly just fire on decoys here, completely unaware of what the fuck is going on, as Ruddles swarm into the backline. One of them gets onto Boxer. The Beamstone that was covering Boxer has moved up to deny A from the decoys, has no idea that this thing is here. Secret Mink has a gun capper in the area, but it is already effectively neutralized. Boxer being capped by Cosmic as the thing just flanks under the map right now. Cosmic is also sending, this is Tethys Cosmic, is also sending a capper onto A. Is the A-cap Beamstone going to pivot back? No, the A-cap Beamstone is not going to pivot back towards Boxer. It is going to rely on the gun range under the map to try and deny that. Although it has only now just opened fire, and Boxer is already half captured here. No target lock either. Missile, this is an S3H out on the B-capper here. Will it arrive in time? Will it get the kill? Secret Mink is pushing sort of out right now. Oh, thinking that those are... Ooh, uh-oh. Secret Mink thinks that those decoy containers are real, has a target acquired on one of them, and is trying to acquire. A-cap being captured right now while C gets counter-capped back by Pyrope, who steps onto the objective here. Spy Eye actually waiting and... Whoa, lying in wait underneath the map, waiting for them to push onto the C point here. A-cap being taken here. This thing is not detected. It is spotted, but the Beamstone's not an arc. The Beamstone pivoted to try and hit these decoys, does not have the, its beam pointed towards the actual ship that's taking the point. Cosmic does step off of Boxer, unfortunately, a little bit of a misplay there, as Penetrating Oil is likely going to force it off. Unbuffed 250s, though, is probably not really going to be able to kill this thing in time, as it's just going to step back onto the point. Missiles now out. These are S2H out from the battleship. Gonna try and clean up this capper here. Pavis is firing. Will it lock in? No, it misses! The hybrid misses! As A-cap is gonna get taken by OSP here. Boxer once again getting retaken here. Secret Mink is trying to get their damage capper onto the point, but likely to try and contest, although it is not really gonna work. The Reigns here is forced to keep its distance, unable to close the gap, as the unbuffed 250s is not really gonna be able to kill this thing in time. Mink is sitting on guarding A right now. Beam is already pre-aimed at the A-capper here, although it is too little too late for an A deny. Spy Eye just waiting patiently under the map with these two Ruddles. Likely gonna try and hunt for that Beamstone once C point's been captured and once the Axfords have moved on. The Axford, I keep saying Axfords because that's just instinctual, right? The Axford has moved on. It looks like Cosmic is pivoting Bloodkin over to try and deal with the Axford, though. Their other liner, now positioned under the map, actually gets within plasma range of the BB and starts getting some shots into it. Plasma going in, 100 mil now in 2. Not going to be doing a whole lot of damage yet, but that is still going to force the battleship to actually pull away from A. HE frag boxes now out against something. These, I'm not sure what those were fired at, but maybe a misclick from Tethys trying to fire decoys. Boxer goes to OSP here, as Cosmic is just going to rush down this range with the Ruddle. Curious to see what Spy Eye does with these two Ruddles. Overall state of the board right now, ANS is in a really bad spot right now. They are caps down. Their frontline has kind of been pushed out of position despite the lack of proper frontline. The CLs are now acquiring onto Cosmic's goalie monitor here. The goalie monitor is not really reacting. There it goes, trying to duck back into cover. There are some sprint mines on E, although the RPF should be able to clean that up. You can see Cosmic just lying in wait here with the Ruddles, ready to just strike the CLs once they push into the cap. Secret Mink has been really bled on cappers right now, which means it's up to the larger ships to get back onto points. Penetrating oil does manage to defend against the rocket strike here. Cosmic does get structure broken by the RPF here. Out of rockets, is not going to be able to kill this thing. Secret Mink is going to limp back onto Boxer. Oh, HE-shaped containers! HE-shaped containers from the CLN down low. Pyro gets rocketed. Oh no! Wait, what rocketed this? Rocket boxes? What hit this thing? Was it this? Oh no. Pyro just took massive damage, probably from a couple of Ruddles. Beam now going out into Bloodkin here, trying to cover the Axford. The liner now pivots onto the Beamstone. The Beamstone is now revealed as, yep, Spy Eye, who was lying in wait this entire time, is gonna flank Thigh Highs onto C Point to get some nasty damage into this, the Axford. Missiles do miss on Boxer. These were Arad, CMD, Val, Hodge, and this thing has no radar. It is currently no, it's not IMCOMmed. Probably panels down in the arc of the incoming missiles. No, not even panels down. How do those not acquire? Huh, probably reject then? Huh. C Point now getting capped as the Ruddle steps onto the point here. The beam is dead. The beam has been killed. The rocket is going to make sure that this Beamstone never gets back up. The damage that Bloodkin has taken is very minimal. This liner is still very healthy. Meanwhile, Snipper flanks around. It's a broadside hit on the Axford. Pyrope is not happy right now, as that is a full salvo into the Axford's broadside. The battleship not really able to do much due to the massive amounts of decoys, and the liner closely guarding A is forced to just kind of sit up top here, not really able to get into the fight. The Axford is going to try and bow tank the liner mid at A. It's going to go bow on to Bloodkin, who is flanking around the map, get some salvos into the Sarissa device. C-Point is going to go to OSP here, as they are just going to step onto the point now that the Greedford and the Beamstone have been neutralized. B-Point goes back in the hands of A&S as the crippled Capper gets back onto the point. The containers missing the deny. Axford is getting severely degraded here, as it is forced to choose which one to fight. Chooses to fight the one at longer range. This is the correct choice. This is the one that it's going to do better against than the one at point-blank range. Plasma being fired into the CL, actually, instead of the Axford. OSP back with a 4-cap here, as A&S is severely bled on most of their stuff right now. As Choose attempted against the CLs up top. Likely not going to get through. There is a... These things are still perfectly healthy. Yep, they're going to go through to chaff. Monitor just doing what it can to stay underneath the map here, underneath this rock, away from the CLs, preventing them from pushing in. The CLs looks like they're trying to split up right now. Star is sending exit criteria, likely probably going to send it down to E. The other ones are going to flank over the top, likely to Dagger. Pyrope continuing to just take massive damage out in the open here. Their Axford still has a bunch of restores, but is pretty much all guns down. Meanwhile, the other liner is just going to have free reign to poke around the side of the rock here. Decoy out as well. This is a line ship decoy, is going to confuse Pyrope even more, but unfortunately Pyrope doesn't really have much combat capability left. Secret Mink does get their Beamstone from its A-guard position onto A. Does manage to get a nasty flank into one of the liners here, although the liner was off of its reload cycle and immediately dumps a massive salvo of shells into the front of that Beamstone. Battleship doing its best to support the Beamstone attack here. Pivots over the front. It's likely going to throw itself onto A to try and secure the point. The Beamstone is effectively neutralized right now. It does have a single restore it's using to try and get the thing back online. We will see if it's enough. Pelican, though, severely, just perfectly healthy, flanks around the side here and absolutely just pounds the poor Sarissa device. It's going to throw itself likely into C to try and deny C from any back cap attempts. HE box is now out on the Beamstone. Beamstone with no ability to soft kill that is going to go down here, as Honest Spur can just focus on the battleship. Rocket strike attempt on the battleship. S2H thrown out to try and defend it, as the CLs are going to mop up this ambush up top. Out of rockets. They do have some mines, but unfortunately the PD on the battleship is still active, which means that they are likely not really going to be able to do much. Mines now trigger on. Exit criteria met. One hit. One miss. Goes for Chaff. Another one goes for Chaff. More are triggering now. The CL with no bullets in the mags didn't really do a whole lot of damage. The other one going for chaff as well. This CL is not really... it's less damage than you would expect, although that is a lot of damage to the thrusters. It means it's going to slow down the CL quite a lot here. It also means that Cosmic is now going to be aware that there is an ECAP attempt from high. They likely noted that it's going to be the CL based on where it was seen last. Bloodkin just doing what it can to beat up what's left of the front line here. Pyrope is effectively out of the fight here. Summer Rose severely injured. Still somewhat combat capable, to be honest. Although with 2 100mm liners on flanks here, it is likely going to go down here in a moment. Yep, there goes the CIC. There goes the mag, as this thing is going to get gutted by HEHC into the plasmid-sized. Battleship pushing forward through A is trying to get some flanking fire on the 100mm liners. The 100mm liners are likely going to try and duck into cover here. One of them is pretty well degraded. A lot of its gun turrets are offline. The other one got beamed and structure broken on A and does not want to take the fight with the battleship. Exit criteria met, putting itself onto E right now. Cosmic has already begun to move the Ruddles, though, as the Monitor is going to completely ignore the CL. The Monitor is likely just going to go for Boxer, if I had to take a guess, although Cosmic already has a thing going for B. With only the severely injured Capper left, Tethys Cosmic should have no problem killing it with the gun Capper. Yeah, it's easy to forget that OSP brought actual gun shuttles to this match, considering the Ruddle all-in. E-point getting captured by ANS. Exit criteria met, does step onto the point. The Ruddles flank around the corner. Missiles being programmed. They are on hold fire to get into arc. Cosmic is just going to let loose at point-blank range here. The CL is not actually firing at the Ruddles. It's actually firing at the Monitor, as this thing is going to take a massive hit to the rockets there. Center stack gone. Structure break goes off. The rockets won't be able to kill this thing, although it is going to be combat incapable. And the Ruddles, if they still have combat capabilities, can just step onto E and contest infinitely. A couple of containers also salvoed at E is not really going to be changing a whole lot, though. That ship is already as neutralized as it can really get. Cosmic is just going to burn onto E. ANS is going to take E temporarily, though, but they're going to lose it immediately. The CL is in no condition to contest that. FLF on the drive will only confirm the kill. Boxer now being captured by OSP as Cosmic and Cosmic step onto the point. The gun camper just going to finish off this severely crippled gun camper from ANS and confirm the cap swap there. Pyrope's Axford still hanging in there. Bloodkin is doing what it can to just finish it off. Going to prevent it from trying to get onto other caps. It is structure broken. It is mags down. It has one restore left. Trying to get the large back online to chain restore. It is at a pretty good angle to get the large back up. The restore is actually canceled, though. Pyrope probably waiting until the liner's on its reload cycle to try and time it right. Although Honestbert has already acquired has acquired one of Star's CLs here, as the proven factor diverts to Dagger and the mark of the time diverts to C. The liners, though, at C should be able to deny the C cap here from the CLs at point-blank range. Dagger now being captured, or about to be captured. Yeah, now being captured. Tethys is actually sending some boxes out. These are HE-shaped A-Rad. One of them's going to find its way into the drive section, one a little bit into the center stack. You can see here that Star has MCOM'd. These are ACT with Command Val, likely going to find their way into this CL here. As the CL takes some pretty heavy damage, drives are down, CIC down. There is a secondary CIC in the front of the ship, although Tethys has a gun on the Moorline, is going to be more than able to deny Dagger for the time being, as the Moorline is actually going to be able to stop the point. That is the decoy liner with enough left to take the point. The CL on E goes down, allowing Cosmic to cap the point with this severely damaged capper. The Monitor continuing its burn towards Boxer to prevent a back cap here. Cosmic is sending the Ruddles low, not sure where they're sending them. More missiles being programmed from the CLN. These ones are also going to go into the CL here. These ones are going wide. Oh, these are on a loop around path. Gonna try and hit the CL at an optimal angle by the looks of it. Chaff being deployed. CMD validation does not work when you use cruise pathing like this. It has to be TRP, even for validators. So we'll see if these are actually able to acquire, or if they will acquire the chaff that is conveniently placed next to the CL. Missiles loop around. One of them is going to hook. It's going to hook the CL. Oh, it actually hooks the CL. One of them dying to flak, as the other ones, though, are going to find their way into the ship. Dagger being recapped by ANS here, as Fenthouse is going to continuously contest the cap with combat effectiveness. Pyrope is going to send their already damaged CL onto C here. Start keeping Mark the time at range, perhaps probably trying to rely on the cap from the critically damaged ships here. Where has the liner gone? Bloodkid is actually not in a position to deny C at the moment. It has flanked up and over the side here. Likely trying to flank over the side here instead of low to prevent getting hit by the battleship on its way. Although Spy Eye still has a... This Ruddle still has all of its rockets left. Nope, it still has half of its rockets left, sorry, and is flanking into C right now. Will not be able to get the kill on that CL, although it will be able to disable it even more. Secret Mink's gun range low has been found out here and gets annihilated by one of the liners. Star is doing what they can to sort of engage the liner at A. Dagger has been capped. C point is going to be denied as it takes out the arming missile on the beamstone there, as Spy is going to be able to hold C by disabling both of these ships on the point. Boxer is now firmly within the hands of OSP. C point is a tenuous hold for OSP, although it is still probably going to hold. The monitor doubles back towards E. It looks like the capper on Boxer dies before it's able to take the point, likely hit by maybe the battleship, poking some fire down range through the gap there. Cosmic is going to be forced to put the monitor back onto E point. Pyrope is gonna get a gun back operational, electing to go with the lower barrel one, but the less vulnerable turret there, just to become combat capable to try and do what they can against the CLs. Star moving their healthy CL back towards Dagger to confirm the, to try and dislodge it from Fenthouse here. Fenthouse is out of containers, only has a single, I say single gun, but I am seeing multiple guns on this Moorline. This Moorline's bristling. Their gun capper also stepping in to assist with keeping the CL neutralized. 100 mil liner doing what it can to try and get shots down range, although at this range, it's unlikely that they're going to be landing accurate hits. CLs actually divert away from Dagger, instead divert back to C, it looks like. Star is not going to try and do Dagger. They're going to try and camp a different point. Maybe try and fight the obelisks, although at this stage you need objectives more than kills. Pyrope does get their gun and mag back operational, although they are likely going to lose it all pretty much immediately as the 100 mil liners immediately put fire into the severely armor-stripped front of this ship. Mag down, yep, mission killed. Axford, unfortunately for Pyrope there. Looks like Cosmic with the 100 mil liners is actually going to try and fight the BB on A point here. The BB is still very healthy. It's very, not really armor stripped all that much at all. Probably a little bit of a misplay here. You don't need to fight the BB. You have points advantage, and you don't need to throw away ships to try and fight it. Both of these obelisk liners are severely degraded. One of them pointing bow on towards the battleship, likely to try and absorb more damage, while the other one goes broadside on or top down to get the damage output. Start doing what they can to support this battleship engagement as Cosmic just sits next to the BB ominously with empty Ruddles. The cap now going to ANS here as the monitor finds its way back onto the point. You can see how much damage a battleship does to a structure broken liner, as one of the liners is already just completely gone. The other one severely degraded. Like I said, this was probably a little bit of a misplay from OSP here. Battleship, though, surrendering on A, as that's going to be it. The all-in decoy container and rocket tactics from Freakbob's Fenthouse is going to take this one. They are going to take third place, 2-0 against Maintenance Is A Birch, with a pretty dominant play here on Gold Rush. Once again, we see a really well-executed primary Ruddle strat from OSP here, in combination with the massive amounts of decoys fired by the Moorline. We saw a couple instances there where the team successfully used the decoys to bait ships out of position. They used the Ruddle rushes to push beamstones away, even if they didn't get the kill, allowing them to swoop in very sneakily and take points right under ANS's gaze there, which forced the front line to push in, which didn't really end well. The rocket shuttles were able to get some very nice strikes against Pyrope, which completely stopped the frontline push on the seaside there, as Pyrope was just completely degraded. The 100 mil liners doing a excellent job of keeping that Axford out of the fight. Tethys Cosmic was able to do some really good work on the caps there, holding them with the gun cappers, and the Monitor into the late game there, preventing the gun cappers left on ANS from really pushing in and retaking territory. And a lot of that was history. The Ruddles were able to have really good impact there, able to kill a lot of the light cappers, a lot of the light assets, the sensors, the beamstones, all of that got killed pretty quickly there. It kind of just forced what was left of ANS out of the map for the most part. Yeah.